Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Inside IU Volleyball with Coach Sherry Dunbar. Greg Murray on hand. Coach, another weekend in the books, another preseason tournament championship. Congratulations to you going 2-1 at the Indiana Invitational.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun, and it was, sometimes when you schedule those preseason tournaments so far in advance, you don't know exactly how these teams are going to be, and it was a really quality tournament. And I thought it was good for all the teams involved, made everybody step up to the competition.
The first match against Cleveland State, a team that defeated the Hoosiers a season ago. It was a good fundamental team in the Horizon League. They had preseason Horizon League Offensive Player of the Year, Kara Koch, but you guys did an excellent job to contain her and defeat a very strong fundamental team in 4 sets. An excellent start to that tournament.
Yeah, we knew Cleveland State was going to be good. We'd watched a lot of film on them. They came in 4-0. And like you said, very fundamental, have a couple of key players, and I thought we did a good job of shutting down number 17, Kara. But they do some really nice things. So that was like the start of the tournament. We need to step up to play. And I thought we fought and battled really hard and needed to get out of that match. So it was a good start, and I think got us mentally ready to play in the tournament.
In those first 2 sets, it was kind of back and forth throughout. IU won the first, Cleveland State the second. But it seemed after that break, before the third set, you guys just came out with a fire underneath you, took the third set very strongly, 25-14, I believe was the official score. And then Cleveland State kind of came back and made it a very intense fourth set, but you guys closed it out and got the win.
And that's the key, I think, this year. What we're seeing in our team as an identity is we are able to close out some of those. And we haven't done that in the past. And we've been in a lot of tight matches already, just in the 6 matches we played. And to see the team be able to close out tight ones when, and as everyone knows, volleyball is such a momentum sport. And you got to get the momentum at the very end and have people that want the ball and people willing to put the ball away and people want to pass the ball, all those type of things, and that's a mentality.
Day 2 of the tournament was the first time we kind of saw the offense struggle just a little bit against Bowling Green, the first defeat of the season in 4 sets. Paige Penrod, one of the outside hitters for Bowling Green, had an outstanding match, 26 kills for her. What kind of learning experience did this kind of give your team this early in the season?
Yeah, I told the team, it started right from the beginning of the day. I thought, they got up, went to pregame, came in, and they just weren't ready to go. I had to tell them a couple times, get up and get taped, those type of things. I just don't think we were mentally ready to play in that match. I don't know if we were still on the last night's match, what it is, but this team needs to kind of be organized very early in the day, especially when you're playing 2 matches, and be starting to think about playing. They were kind of watching the Georgia Tech match and everything, and I feel like we probably should have sent them in the locker room a little bit earlier and start to engage in the match at hand. And that's partly my fault too, but we have to do a better job of that because I think we are that type of team that has to be mentally prepared to play. And, a lot of the decision making and our first ball touches with our passing, we just didn't control the tempo of the game at all. I felt like, and we didn't put balls away. We just didn't have hitters get up and put balls away either. So, and we tried a lot of different lineups and a lot of different people. Jaded sprained her ankle the night before, so we didn't play her. But we got some freshmen in the action, so that was good. But I do think it was a learning experience, and we can see how it can fall apart too. Just as easily as it can come together. And we watched a lot of film on that this morning to really point out some different things. But I'm glad we took it as a learning experience and kind of went up from there in the tournament instead of down from there. And we've seen that before too. So, there's good and bad always. You say, well, if we would have won the Bowling Green match, would we have played as well that night? And you look back at all those things and question it. But I'm happy with what we did after the Bowling Green match.
And that night against Georgia Tech, a very athletic team, by far the most athletic team so far this season. You guys defeated the Yellow Jackets in 4 sets. An excellent end to the tournament that officially won you the Indiana Invitational. You mentioned Jade Henderson did not play in the earlier match with an ankle, sprained ankle from that Cleveland State match. What can you say about her situation right now? She seemed to be back at it in that Georgia Tech match, very effective.
Yeah, she's fine. And we talk to the kids about this all the time. Sprained ankles are part of it, those type of things. There are things that you can't play because of, but at this level, we always say just rub some dirt on it and go. I mean, it's the Big Ten level. We need everybody to be healthy and ready to play as much as they can. And mentally, you have to get over things like that and just be like, all right. So we rested her in the morning, which I think helped out. And Regina, our trainer, did a great job and got her in, I think, 4 or 5 times for treatment that day. And then once she started warm up, I said, you got to change your face and just go. And once she got warmed up, the ankle was fine, and we taped it well enough, I think, that she didn't really feel it too much. So But, we needed somebody fresh, somebody that could come in and make a difference. And I thought, not just offensively and defensively, she did make a difference in that and had a great match. But I just thought her presence on the court really helped us and kind of had a cohesion about it when she was on the court.
She was one of the many players that stepped up in that match. Another player that had an excellent tournament, actually was crowned tournament MVP, was 2012 libero Caitlin Hansen. She's done an excellent job progressing just match to match. She matched her career high in the Bowling Green with 16 digs, topped that in the nightcap with 19 digs, the tournament MVP, really settling into that position very nicely.
And, I think Caitlin Hansen is trying to find that identity of the way she's going to be the libero. We've had Caitlin Cox as a libero for 4 years, and she was a fiery, just explosive kind of kid, on the court. And Caitlin Hansen is not that, but she has so many things, and if you really watch her, she is so steady for us. And she is such a good leader on the court. If you listen to her, if you're close enough to the court, she's talking nonstop. And not as a cheerleader, but providing a lot of information and telling people the things that need to be done at that time. And if you watch, she's passing more and more balls and getting more and more comfortable of taking balls from other people and finding digs. And even with her serve, starting to get her serve going a little bit. So I just think as her confidence grows, her play is just going to go out the roof. I think she's a fantastic player, and her work ethic and everything combined could make her a great player for us.
Now, the other players that made the all-tournament team, Jordan Haverly for the second consecutive weekend, again, just starting off exactly where she left off in 2010, an excellent boost to the offense. And also Sam Thrower in the middle, an excellent job in the middle, blocking balls, killing balls, just doing everything on both sides of the floor.
Yeah, and it was nice. Morgan got on the all-tournament team last week and did a really good job. And then our other middle, Sam, gets on the all-tournament team. And I think they're both working very hard. We're trying to get them involved in the offense a little bit more. But I thought Sam, with her blocking, did a much better job of controlling our defense a little bit better this weekend. So those two, and we got Shantae some action, and we need that depth in the middle. They're just doing a really good job with their work, and the work in between of the transition and things like that. And so it's just nice to see them kind of get some recognition. Jordan played really well. She struggled a little bit against Bowling Green, but came back that night and really found the next level and the next step to her explosion, and really helped us out a lot. But I thought it was a total team effort. If you look, that might have been one of the best hitting percentages we've ever had.
Yeah.
Maybe in school history, I don't even know. I mean, that's just against a quality opponent like that to hit the numbers we did consistently across the board was really unbelievable.
I want to stick with that Georgia Tech match. Coming in, they have two very athletic players, Monique Meade and Bailey Hunter. How did the game plan switch to kind of focus around those two players and kind of containing them with the defense, which would lead to the effective offense that you just mentioned?
Yeah, and we knew, and one of them is a fifth-year senior and the other's a true senior. And so you knew they were going to bring a lot of experience, not just play into it. And they played in big matches all along. They played against us 2 years ago when we played them at their place and beat them in 5. So we knew they were their go-tos after watching film and then just understanding what their game plan is. But Monique is just a special player. I mean, you watching her, I'm sure, saw that. She's just a dynamic athlete. And so we really wanted, number one, we had to know where they were at all times. And Bailey runs around a little bit more, doesn't just run the traditional outside sets all the time, so we really had to communicate a lot, and that's what I thought our middles did a good job of, communicating where they were going and setting up good blocks that way. But Monique, you don't want her to get on a roll, because she can bounce balls against you, and she did against us a couple times, but you kind of have to, okay, let's go back to what we're doing and let's try to get a good lineup on her, nose on ball, and just, if we could just get some positive touches so we can run balls down and things. You're not going to block her straight down very much. Jade did one time and was really excited about it, which is great. But we just tried to contain them. They're going to get their kills, and they're going to do what they do because they're experienced enough to do it. You just can't let them go off like we did against at Bowling Green and let that outside get 26 kills. That is what we couldn't do against them. And so I thought we limited them as much as we could, and that really helped us out.
A similar trend going on when the Hoosiers can play their game. You mentioned containing the top players, but just do what they do best. The team has had a lot of success.
Yeah, absolutely. And I thought, to be honest, one of the keys to that win was we tried to serve them out of their offense a little bit, or contain. Okay, let's serve here so they have to set here, and that helped our block out a lot. And I thought our service did. Kendall came in and served a bunch of short balls that really was effective. And Mel came in and served some really aggressive balls and things. And that really helped us limit the number of options they had so we could really set up our block defense much better.
In the first few sets, or I guess actually every set, Georgia Tech had a slight lead over the Hoosiers. Late in the set, you guys were able to come back in the first two and take the final and fourth set. Just an excellent job to keep your composure when they were on the door of winning set number 1 and 2 to get off to that hot start. You didn't let them do it.
Yeah, and then fourth set, I mean, they were up as many as probably 5 points in each of those sets. So if you're Georgia Tech, you're very frustrated you didn't finish that. If you're Indiana, you're frustrated we were behind that much. But more importantly, I'm really happy with the type of fight, and to me, that's what they did in the off season. That's the mentality that we talked about that first weekend. If we can build on that foundation of that fight and that mentality, and then keep increasing our play and the tempo that we run things, that's a great combination. And I'll take that over talent any day. I really will. Having that fight and seeing them never give up against a really quality opponent. You could look at that in 22-17, they only need 3 points and be like, well, crap, now we're going to. But they never looked at that. They just played the point at hand, worked on what we needed to do, and got more aggressive as the set went along instead of more passive. And that really made me proud to see them fight to get a big win like that instead of just hope that they were going to get that win.
I think another thing that really helped boost the emotions of this team was just the first home weekend at University Gym. A good crowd on hand throughout the weekend, even with all sorts of athletic events going on throughout campus. That is just automatically a huge boost.
Yeah, Friday night was great. We weren't competing against anything except men's soccer, I think, so we had a much bigger crowd for that. But even, on Saturday, like you said, with all the stuff going on, it wasn't as big a crowd, but they were loud and they were really engaged in the play, and that really helped us a lot. I think we're getting so many more loyal fans that are understanding the game a little bit more, and they really get into it. And I had so many emails and text messages after, and just said that was one of the most fun, weekends of watching the team fight, because, fans love that. Fans love teams that just are gritty and get after it and just don't give up. I mean, they can jump on that bandwagon easy. And so if we can maintain that, I think our fan base will just keep growing as we go through the season. Now,
looking forward to this upcoming weekend, a short little road, short normal weekend, but not nearly as far, just a trip up 37 to Butler at Hinkle Fieldhouse for the Butler Invitational, Stephen F. Austin, Western Illinois, and then finally Butler on Saturday. What do you expect from this coming weekend?
Wow, a lot the same. We have to play to our level right now, and that's what we talked about in film. It doesn't, it's great we get fired up to play Georgia Tech. We have to get fired up to play anyone across the net right now. Our identity of fighting that hard can't be based on who we play. And we have to find that consistency to do that every day in practice and then every competition. Because, we're not going to, we don't have a Monique Meade, and that's totally fine, but we have to be consistent in our play and our fight to be able to make the runs that we make and be able to keep everybody involved in the offense, to get some one-on-one combinations and put balls down. So, we have to really focus on us playing at the highest level, I think, next weekend. All
right. Well, thank you very much for joining me on this edition of Inside IU Volleyball with head coach Sherry Dunbar. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.